Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some 2D4X today. 2D4X is a 2D4X game that I am creating. It's a strategy game. And today we were going to immediately push to main. This is the game here. And then we're going to work on probably the options menu where you can hit escape and a menu will pop up. And then because we need that to work so we can start working on how to save the game. But like always, when I was running a little test before I started streaming, I noticed that these numbers weren't updating. And so I was wondering what was going on. So we'll fix that first. I think the problem is, so there was that remember, like, a couple months ago, there was that bug, a Godot bug, where everything needed to, everything that was being initialized, dictionaries, Godot collection dictionaries, whatever, were messed up. And so we went through all of them and we made them not initialized because that's what was causing that error where, I put in an issue with Godot and someone finally figured it out for me, thankfully. I'm very tired this morning. I woke up at 6:45, even though today is my day off. And I'm unhappy about it. Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I woke up at 6. It's like, man, and I go to bed late. I go to bed at like 1, midnight or 1. Anyways, so this is probably jacking something up. So what it's supposed to do is at the end of the day, and for some reason money is working. Now, it's somewhat working. It's changing. See, it changed. These ones never change. So for example, if we take these remnants, it's going to give us, we can't hover over these. I think it's this one. I actually didn't see 50 appear. Where we selected on here? Goods. Oh, we were selected on the wrong county. So it was on here. We got this 50. This should have changed. And it doesn't change. So I think what happened is when we went through and there were so many of these that it was easy to like miss the that something was wrong. And so I looked at this briefly and I actually have these problems because I changed something. I was going to pull out this GD print because it seems like it's interesting that we're also copying this amount. Not the, so this is a getter setter, we can tell because it's capital. This one too. So we're making a copy of this so that we can look at what the values were from the day before. There's a couple of these things. I wonder if I can just, well, let's fix these. County resource type. I don't know what this needs to be now. I don't know what we changed it to. Just resource type? No, it's county resource type. County resolve symbol. County good. Oh, it's good. Yeah, we changed the name to good. County good type. And I actually really don't like the word good. But the issue is that Godot values should be the same as yesterday. This value should be the same as yesterday. What did this say before? County resources. I don't know if this is true anymore. So this is goods. Because we're getting yesterday's goods and then goods. And we were comparing it in this test. This is an old test. We're also going to use there's 700 lines in this one. I mean, to the bottom. We also can use a breakpoint if we need to. I was about to say I was tired, but I just said that. That's how tired I am. Let's change this. Yesterday's goods, today's vegetables. We'll leave that in there, but I think so this is resetting it every time this runs, which then we for each that, and we add this Yeah, so this actually should be the same at this point because nothing, this just made a copy of it. Um, so we're for each of these and we're adding in this stuff. I wonder how long ago this broke and I just never noticed. We should probably, it's very strange to me that we're using the getter setter here instead of the real amount, because the real amount, the getter setter just sets the amount, you know what I mean? Like, it's, how is it even copying this over? Let's double check that I'm not misremembering something weird going on. But yeah, the getter setter should just be, I guess I could have searched for that thing. What the fuck was that we looking for here? Amount. That's not a capital amount. We're in county data. Oh, we're supposed to be searching goods though. So that's going to be, we're taking each good, which is a good data. So let's go look at good datas. I don't think we have that open. And then after we fix this, there's always something. This happens like every time. There's some minor thing that sometimes turns into a clusterfuck, but it is generally pretty minor. There was an update to OBS today, so I just want to check everything is working because sometimes updates break things, you know. Oh, I forgot to put in my thing today. Man, yeah, I went through my checklist. I have a checklist before I start, and I was just kind of like staring at it. I can't connect to that computer. All right, whatever. Good data. Instead of like reading the checklist, I just stood at it. Yeah, so stared at it. So if we were to copy this, it's never even set. Oh, they probably want us to turn it into lambdas or whatever. Whoa. What did it just change? Oh, yeah, there's the arrow. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, so that's probably something changed a long time ago when we set this. Yeah, because we're getting the amount. Same with max amount. Very strange. This has to be old. So let's go back to wherever these, oh, I fixed those errors, damn it. Sometimes I like to leave an error there so that you can just click on it and jump back to it. Here it is. No, well, we have this other copy that copies, we're copying these things too. I wonder why I'm doing that. Let's go back to this thing and take a look at it. It's over here somewhere. I wonder if we could just, so this is a good data. We could go for each one of these goods. What if we did, since we already have a copy thing, we already have it right here. I wonder if we could just go, good data. Was this thing static? What is this thing? It's static. Can we just go, here, I'm going to make a new one, or a new line. Start from yesterday's goods, add good data dot new copy, key value pair. Nah, yeah, key value pair, lowercase k, key value pair value. We can't add this. Why not? Oh, do we have an extra thing in here? No, we need that. I wonder if we need to make a copy first. Gets the value, new copy. What does this thing return? It returns a good data. and we're passing in a good data, just to make sure. I haven't looked at this in a long time. Value is this thing. It has two parameters. Man, my brain. What's a parameter? But is invoked with one argument. Add. Oh, is this a dictionary? Oh, this is a dictionary. Okay, so what we got to do here is what is this? County good? Yeah, good type county. So we got to put all enums dot. No, we don't. We go good data key value pair with lowercase k. Key value pair dot key comma. We don't have a key in here. Oh, god damn it. I did it again. Okay, so it's going to add the key. It's going to use the key from this key value pair to add this in here, and it's going to add in a copy. We don't actually need this. But we have a different issue. What is your problem? Use var. Go fuck yourself. Okay, so I don't think this is in the right. So this is going to reset yesterday's goods. Then it adds it in there. We do want it to so yesterday's goods, we basically want to have it update those values. So maybe we do want that down there. Let's do this too. Let's go home. For these things that we've messed with and we've made sure they work, I guess we'll get rid of this though at the end. And then I also like this amount of goods used feels like it's wrong. So we pass in a good type, a faction good type. Let's call this a faction good type. And for each good type and amount of goods used, if the good type equals count used faction resource good of type. Oh, okay, so I know what this is. This is just if we need to figure out how many of this particular thing was used. So you pass in a faction good, whatever, money, and it counts this thing. Count used, where are we adding this amount though? Oh, we're going through, okay, I know what this is. All right. So at the top bar, for example, money, it goes through all of the things and counts this. I feel like we had this in a different spot. Like, why wouldn't with a banker should do this, I feel like, or the county good. See, this is what happens is there's like a minor error or somewhat major. There's an error, and then all of a sudden it makes, because it's old code and I've changed how I do things. This feels like this should be in some other place. This feels like this should be in the banker or count or good data or quartermaster. The quartermaster deals with goods. And that would make this less long. Do we have a count faction resource of type? Count used faction resource. Okay. We're going to rename this to count faction good of type. So this does make sense. So we're passing in a resource type. Wait, we're passing in a faction. We're going to call it, we're going to fix all this shit. Faction good type. This should be a good data. What? Nope, you were right. Count faction good of type. for each good data and goods value. Values. Faction good type. We count the amount. That looks right. We're returning an int. Check enough county scavengeables. Man, all of these still say resources. I don't even want to go through and fix them all. Check for. So I want. So I think we've. It's this stuff that threw it all up. I knew this was going to cause issues in the future when we had to go through and get rid of these. This is a Godot bug that was driving me nuts. I don't even see where we're initializing this. So it's not initialized right there. Subtract county resources. Amount of goods is not initialized there. So it's never initialized anywhere. It seems like it shouldn't work, right? I wonder if we put this back. Let's see. If we do this for these three, if we start getting those errors. Because it isn't all of them. It's just some of them get that error. We still have that other good thing. I'm going to put a note because I'm going to forget in like 2 seconds. Not 2 spaces. There is another place goods is getting initialized. We got to find that. Oh, it's not case sensitive. Where was that thing? I just saw it there. Oh, it was yesterday's goods that was getting initialized. Okay. So if we go back up to here, control home doesn't do anything. What? What is this? Oh, we're already at the top is why. Okay. I'm tired. Yesterday's goods. We can just, well, let's leave it like that. All right, I'll fucking find it. We just saw it a second ago. It's in here. Okay, it does work. We've changed many things in this. County data is one of the most important things, though. I'm gonna move this whole thing over. Keeps control of all the county data, as you would imagine. All right, so we put this back to this initialization here, and I'm curious if this will solve some problems. Wonder why I can't connect to my other computer. All right. So what we need to do is keep an eye out down here for errors. And then the second thing we need to do is generate some goods, which we can do with exploring. People are starving already? Wow. That is surprising. Of course, we get a lumberjack station on our first random thing here. We're keeping an eye on these things up here. We also have the time too slow. Let's times 8 it. We still haven't gotten any errors. And we should see that one up. This should be different. So we have remnants in Portland. So let's go to Portland. We're already in Portland. How many did we get? 50? I only see 19 there. Was it 50? I wasn't looking. I'm pretty sure we put 50 on all of those. We can check though. Now what have I done? I wonder if it's getting initialized twice. Let's see here. Goods, factions, story events. Story events. We're in Portland, so that's a ruin. Found remnants. Yeah, it's 50. Just in case. 510. Oh, no, that's the people. We haven't gotten the people one. So that didn't work right. And it was working last week. Well, they do use some remnants, but I don't think they would use that many remnants. Let's run it again and see what is going on here. Then after we fix this, we'll push to main. Hopefully this won't take the whole stream. But maybe it will. This was kind of a pain. I remember when we did it the first time. This is building materials. This is remnants. Okay, so I can never remember this, so I added tooltips. This isn't food. This is food. I made a copy of this, so we got another bug. Jesus Christ, we're just filled with bugs. Let's fix that. But if we fix that, we got to go to our localization file here. 2D4X. Localization. We got to copy over what that is. Yeah, I always take a nap like after work. We want good description. We want good food. Or not fish. Wait, what are we doing? Raw materials is what we need. Good. Oh, it must be at the bottom. In the past couple of days, man, I've been like sleeping like a corpse after work. It's like insane how like immediately just fucking go to sleep. And we made a copy of this one is probably why the thing is wrong. What does this one say? This is a label. So this is, yeah, the amount used is 0 to start with. So it's probably never getting updated. Let's put some dots on there and we'll see. We'll see that in there, which is a whole different problem than I thought was happening. Because we actually had a little bit of issues getting this thing to update like this number. So maybe that's what it is, and I shouldn't have been fucking with what I'm fucking with. Let's see here. Where's our tool tip? We need it on this thing. Yep. And it always does that. All right. Back to this. So this is, our remnants are here. That matches 5. Set it on explore. These people are also supposed to be scavenging. They don't seem to be doing a very good job of it. Okay, so we're like, we got a bunch of remnants. It's going to give you $50. And that didn't work either. Oh, no, wait, it did. I was looking at influence. So influence is working, not money. Why do we have so many remnants? Because we're going to max out our amount here. How did we get so many? Didn't I get a, yeah, I did a lumberjack. Our scavengers must be scavenging very well. So this isn't going to work right then because we're going to max it out. But it looks like to me it didn't go up at all. It should have went up by the 3. I mean, people could use them though. Let's do this then. In starting, we got to go to our globals here. And starting perishable goods, we'll do 5,000. This number keeps going up because it's too small. We'll do that. We'll save that. and then we'll rerun this. We also changed that one thing. We'll keep an eye on this for errors. Restart that thing. Man, now I have a headache. I'm tired. I have a headache. I shouldn't even stream at all at this point. My computer doesn't work over there. I have a test computer that I like remote into to make sure that like stream is actually doing something. Let's double check that the 5,000 worked. Okay, so we can have 500. That works. Let's put this person on Explore. Let's keep an eye on Remnants. Yeah, these icons suck. I picked bad icons. So look, immediately went to 0. So we must have used a bunch of remnants because the people want stuff. They do want things. So yeah, we got to keep an eye on this, but also on the time. Man, we're getting a lot of remnants. Okay, fucking lumberjack station, of course. All right, found money. Isn't that the same order as last time? So that one went up. So it looks to me like the faction goods are counting correctly. So this one went up, and then when we go to another day, so when we go to day 10, this should be 150. I thought we were subtracting them though. So you could see, maybe we didn't do it that way. So it's supposed to help you understand if your amount's going up or down. I thought we were subtracting them, not just leaving this number here. So money is going to be hard to test because so this one should have gone up though because we have 610 influence or 1610. And it does, okay, so it's doing it. It's just a day behind, which is how it should be. This one hasn't changed. We really haven't explored that much. Okay, Scav, that doesn't help us. We're at 300. Fuck you. We're getting all the random ones I don't want. Look at this. Our remnants are... No. We're going to be maxed out. Yeah, no, we're maxed out. We can't do our test if we're maxed out. God damn it. This person's terrible at exploring, too. Random starts. Explore. 16. Scavengeable. For a second, I thought we were getting not random stuff. Fuck you, guys. At least this person's good at exploring. Money, come on. Wood. Okay, we can do wood. We can handle wood. Wood's building material. So that's 50. It would be nice if you could hover over this, honestly, even though this is like a blocker panel to keep you from clicking. We could move the blocker panel down and we'll worry about it later. So we're at 57. Now we're at 107. Okay, so this definitely should change from whatever. So we know that that's still not working. But here we'll also test remnants. So that time I said yes, and it didn't go up. I'm almost positive I clicked yes. Like that, maybe I misclicked. See, now I don't even trust myself. The fuck is wrong with this world? Okay, once again, explore. Found survivors. Can we get the remnant? Okay, here we go. Remnants 23. All right, that absolutely did not go up. There's no way we used 47, 20. Oh, and it didn't add in right here. So when we close this panel, it should add both of them together. So see how this says 47 and 20? It's supposed to, when you close this panel, you're supposed to get the faction counts. So we got some other issue going on. Oh my God, I didn't even open up my GitHub today. Total incompetence here. I've only been doing this for years. All right, project. 2D4X. We're gonna put some notes in here. So what's the first thing that we just, or the second thing? Faction wide remnants isn't adding up at all. I bet you this has been broken for a while, and I just hadn't noticed. We're going to throw this to the top. And then we're going to go back. Let's look at these other ones. So for this one, building materials, we should get a 30. And it is working. So the difference with remnants is that remnants are both. They check both. They're both a faction level thing, which is this, and also a county level thing. And I think that's probably what's throwing them off. So we have whatever these guns are. Equipment, 5 and 4. How are we getting equipment? What counts as equipment? Oh, I think canned goods are currently set as equipment just for testing. 5 and 4. So if we close this, we should get 9. All right, that looks like it's right. 5 and 4 as well. 9, and then 15 and 15. Okay, so we have remnants aren't, faction-wide remnants isn't adding up at all. Yesterday's numbers aren't showing correctly. County good, because the faction ones are. Something broke here, but that way we copy things works. I already feel like taking a break. I just started. Man. See, the problem with taking a break early is that then you want to take breaks early for the rest of the stream. Okay. So we're initialize this here. So wherever we're not getting that error. So these things were not affected by that Godot error. Godot 5 point whatever, 4.5 is coming out soon. Oh no, I thought they were on RC1, Beta 1. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to that soon. Soon we'll be doing that. Maybe that will solve this issue with their thing. But I'm not seeing any errors from this. And one of the ways you could tell is if just a build would throw errors. Okay, so yesterday goods, county good type, amount of goods used, county good type, county good type. We do the subtraction way different on the. It's coming back to me. Look at this is an action. Strange. It's not used at all either. We'll have to see if this is still used. Anyways, let's find this thing. We're actually subtract county resources. So what is this supposed to be for? Do the math for the amount used. Subtract yesterday's goods from today's goods. This is how much we've used. Oh, I wonder. No, this is right. And this is what's supposed to be showing up at the top. That's why 0 was easy to. Oh, we're not getting the dots, by the way. So it is assigning it is using, it's putting that there, but it's 0. So that's why 0 wasn't throwing me off, because a lot of times it is 0 because nothing's changed. So each day it's not supposed to show this whole number. It's like the wrong thing is getting assigned the wrong dictionary, and that's quite possible. So maybe when I was going through fixing things for something else. So let's look at that first. Top bar control. Update labels with faction amount used. Amount used faction goods. Amount used faction goods. So those look right. Update labels with faction amounts. So then we have faction goods. We have faction goods, raw materials. We fucked with this yesterday or last weekend. So this is the actual goods that are getting updated. This is the amount used. It should be that number that we're doing, right? Right. The thing we were just looking at, it should be this. So this looks right to me, though. Let's look here, though, because Remnants also was faction good type Remnant. I wonder, let's go back over and look at it Remnant. When we were first setting this up, it was kind of a pain because I wasn't sure how we were going to do it, but I think having this Remnant basically being special, and we might not have it. No, we do have it on Remnants on both. That was my worry there. Update labels with faction amount. Faction good. Update labels with faction used amounts. So the faction data also has this for faction level stuff, huh? Let's double check that. That also might be related. It's faction data. All my data sit around in here. So this also might be related to this, where we did this thing. And it didn't like throw any errors, so I assumed it was good, but it might be. So this is not getting initialized. I think we also have a copy. So this one yesterday's gets initialized. 0 faction county resources. Is there only 5 of them? What about money? What about influence? Why are neither of those in here? Click this. Maybe we don't want to, though. Count all county faction goods. Let's just fucking fix this. Maybe we're not going to push domain today. Yeah, last weekend, everything worked perfectly. It was crazy. Okay, I have another question for myself. Why are we zeroing this and then we're adding plus equals here? Okay, so count all county faction goods. This isn't counting shit. Oh, okay, no, it is. What is it doing? Count faction good of type. We're adding this on top of here. Okay, so we have to zero this number out because we're adding in each one of these as we go through. All right, that makes sense. And so we have remnants, we have building materials, we have equipment, and we have raw materials. And my question is that in the same order? Raw materials, food. Food is at the top of this list. Let's make this list match the other list. Just because I'm going to put this on my other monitor so that I can see it. So count all county faction goods. County faction goods. Count all county goods by faction good type. That is more verbose there. Okay, so remnants is not first. The first thing should be, what is this thing? Oh, it is remnants. then building materials, then equipment, then food. Okay, so this is the correct order. Let's put this back here. Count all. See, this was never initialized. I think, was I doing alphabetical? Nope. What did I call this one? Count all county faction used resources. Count all county goods, all used county goods by faction good type. That's a nice long one. 0 goods. Here's that actual used thing. So we have to 0 all these. I wonder if this is in the right. This is not in the right order. It was remnants, building material, equipment, food. I mean, the more order doesn't matter. Why not a for each loop and skip the first 2? Subtract faction resources. Subtract faction goods. So this, do the math for the amount we used. Subtract yesterday's from today, and this is how much we have used. And that is I'm going to put this in here. We're going to do faction, yesterday's faction goods of faction of good type. And interestingly enough, I was about to say, this is pulling the amount. I think this should be a capital A because the other one's private. Oh, it's always, yeah. Unnecessary space, sure, get it. No, no. Those are not unnecessary. Single Wings, how's it going? I have to reset my music here. All right. I'm very tired today. I keep whining about it. I woke up too early. County improvement data. We can close this. It's your turn. I'm ready. I want to hear. I love bitching and moaning. So if other people, people also bitch and moan with me, then it's, you know, we empathize and join together. All right, it was your turn, or it is your turn. Subtract. Okay, so this is gonna. So something has gone wrong here. I think I honestly think it's the where we were. Let's undo this part too. I think these are just getting initialized in the wrong spot because we had to do that. We had to, let's see. It is your turn, yeah. I think pushing myself to burn out to some degree. Oh yeah, that's, you know, I was, so one of the, another streamer that I occasionally watch, stopped streaming unexpectedly. And he has a Discord and he talks about, he's going to stream soon. But you know, on my other channel, I just stopped streaming unexpectedly. I just like burned myself out on it. And so this channel, I have more interactions with chat, and chat's more friendly. On my other channel, which is like video games, critical analysis of video games is the way I'm going to describe it. But it's just me bitching and moaning about video games as we play video games. You get a lot of haters, as they call it. I actually hate the term haters. You get a lot of people who are pissed off that come into chat. and it's strange. It's makes it less fun. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make it bad. I mean, it does make it bad to a point, but it's definitely less fun. So we're going to keep an eye. We just want these numbers to change, and it already should have changed to some sort of negative or positive. Or I guess, yeah, see, they should be changing. As these change, they should change. But there's no changing, and this changes. But also, like, so I think about this a lot, and it's weird. It's weird. The streaming thing is very strange. And I was actually talking to one of my friends a couple days ago who is not a streamer, and his view on it is completely different. Like, they don't understand what it is, or they, no one's ever asked me, like, none of my friends, like, what are you trying to do for streaming? And it's so they just assume I'm trying to do something that, who knows? I haven't asked them what they think I'm trying to do. Why the fuck would I ask them that? You know what I mean? So, it's so his opinion and thoughts about it were a lot different than I thought and expected, and I forgot where it's going. See, I'm tired. But yeah, I can't remember. Well, I mean, I would be. It isn't any of their business, but I would appreciate if my friends were cared about what I was doing, if that makes sense. And I think about this. This is gonna sound like it's talking about whining. So I've been in like bands and stuff, and none of my friends have ever shown up to my shows. They just don't give a shit. And I was like, huh. I was thinking about it recently. Like, I have gone to people's shitty shows many a time to support them, and it's quite strange. So it's like you want support from your friends, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, if they're gonna hate it, I don't know. It just, I'm just whining. I'm just gonna sit here and cry. Yeah, that's a thing too. That's weird. I was friends with some artists for a while because I did like a literary magazine, and I always showed up to their stuff, and they always seemed surprised to see me because they knew I wasn't really into it, but I wanted to go support because they're like these art things that were actually kind of cool if you want to hang out with like a bunch of weirdos in a good way, the good type of weirdo. You'd show up and there'd be all these weirdo artists, which is kind of cool. I also was like a little older. I was like 10 years older than them, the artists that I use with my magazine. So that's a little strange. I still feel like someone mentioned that I should go to a house party. I was like, no, I'm 50. I can't go to house parties. They should beat me up if they see me hanging out at a house party for no reason. Like, they should be, I don't know, you're too old, and then start punching me. All right, wait, we already tested this. We haven't accomplished anything here. All right, so this didn't do anything. So I'm wondering if we move this killer. Right, exactly. I'm wondering if we move this somewhere and it's in the bad spot. No. So this was never initialized. And we aren't getting those bugs down here, though. I'm going to build just in case. All right, so we never replaced where these things are getting initialized. So let's start from the most basic thing, and that is let's look at remnants real quick, because if we started, it's at 5, and it seems to change sometimes, but just not. Oh, it just immediately went to 0. Okay, because they are using it. But why does it not? Okay, so so it adds it in there when there's scavenging, I'm assuming there. So it adds it in when there's scavenging, but it doesn't add it to it when we're exploring. So what has happened with the exploration thing? So we already had that working, but there must be something busted when we fuck with this just now. So let's go. How did that was like in the story thing. Um, story. Where was that? It wasn't, it was actually in a different, I think it was actually in the quartermaster. I don't think we need that open. I don't think we need this open. When we were doing story events, we could look real quick because I can't. So that thing pops up. We have our story event panel or control. And then this goes to accept. And it's working on all of them but remnants. Accept button. Oh, it's the banker that does it. Okay, so the banker, we get this. And it's going to pass in the story event data. Well, we want to see the reward type. Let's double check our reward type is correct on that one, because that would be, you know, trying to fix the code when there's reward type is instant, which is what this is. So that's correct. Let's go down to instance, add story event good. So if the story good type equals county good type story events, county good type goods, reward goods plus or amount plus or equals that. So this looks right. Story event data, event county, county data, goods, story event. Well, we know that this is working. Oh, I see the problem. So we got to do this. And I kind of vaguely remember this was already something. So that wasn't, remnants wasn't, isn't both. Sorry, isn't a county good, it's both. That's what it's set as, because it's both. What do you want? Merge into pattern. What? We can just put words in here now? It's me words and emojis. All right, sure, we'll do. We'll do that. Now we'll test this. All right, so these are unrelated. These issues are unrelated. I was hoping they were related and we would hit the easy part first and we would see all of our other problems and we'd fix them all. Single weeks, I've been trying, so there's a couple of different like web people have shown up in chat, and it dawned on me that, and some of them are making apps and things, and it dawned on me that I wanted to tell all of them that, because they all have different ideas for apps, a dating app. That's what they need. So that's what the world needs. And I know you're thinking, you're like, what the fuck? There's like 10,000 dating apps. They're all owned by the same company. Like to get some competition out there, it's like a monopoly. Uh-oh. Automod. Something got auto-modded. Let's double check it and make sure here. Yeah, I think dating app. What am I looking at? Oh. I think dating app needs to be out there. Oh, it was a spammy. Yeah, they're all owned by Match.com. I think even Plenty of Fish, which is like the shitty dating site, is owned by. I haven't gone on any of these dating sites. I don't want to. Yeah, they're all owned by this same Match group thing. No, because I was thinking about going back onto dating sites because I used to have fun, like hanging out with all the chicks and going on dates and stuff. And I was looking, and I was like, man, all of these have turned to shit. I didn't even log in. I just looked at it like their websites and stuff, and they're all owned by that same company. I don't know if Grindr is, but what's that other one besides Grindr? That because Grindr's like the gay one. There's the other one. It's the Bumble owner. Is it Bumble? The dating bubble? I don't know what it is, but I think they're all like owned by the same, pretty much, and so it makes it. Uh, yeah, exactly. So that's part of the thing I was thinking about. So I have gone on Tinder every once in a while, and it's all like every single one of them was scams. And one of them, I actually think I wasn't talking to a bot. I was like, this is probably a scam, and so I sent her a message, and I'm still trying to think. Is it Bumble? What's the one where it used to be where the women had to email first? But anyways, I was on Tinder, and I I messaged the person who I was like 80% sure was a scam, and then they were replying back like a real person, but I was still had my Hinge Bumble. It is Bumble. Yeah, Bumble. Oh, they're Hinge too. I don't know what Hinge is. But yeah. So this person though, I could tell it was not a bot I was talking to. It was a real person that was catfishing. Is that what it's called? Which surprised me that someone had that much time because they probably got messaged. Like I was like trying to figure out like, was it a dude this is what gets him off, or was it like someone trying to make? Because they never asked for money, but I was like only 5 messages, and I was like, oh, this is a. But it wasn't a bot. That's what the thing that blew my mind. What did we just do here? I got sidetracked. Okay, we did this thing, or both. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna keep an eye on remnants. We're gonna time it up here. We don't care about you, lumberjack station. I want to have this up. Keep an eye out for bugs. Okay, so remnants is at 45. There we go. And then wood, we can test this. Wood is a building material. And that one did go up. So then if we do this, it should add them together. Okay, so that one still doesn't work. So this one should have added these two together. So that part we fixed, but this, wow, there's a lot of building materials here. Good job, guys. Too bad you're going to be annihilated into the ether in a second. Yeah, that one went up, but this is not updating right. So let's go back and double check how this updates. When we close this, it should run a little thing that adds this together. It's probably the same thing. That button, I think, is in here. How's your projects going? I know you said were burning yourself out, but I was talking about this. I don't know if you were there when I was talking about this, but have you ever experienced the thing where you have a project that you're just like killing it on, like whatever you're doing, you're like you haven't every time you work on it, it's so good and it's so easy and you're having so much fun, and then the minute you tell someone about it, you no longer have any interest. You're just like, nah, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to do it anymore. That happens to me all the time. Okay, influence. Update. Faction level goods. Count all county goods by faction type. Okay. So we already double checked this, that remnants count faction good of type remnants. So we're passing in remnant. This is kind of dumb. We know there's only can be one type of remnant. More creative routes. Man, sometimes I'm really lazy, so I never do anything with it. But sometimes I have like these wild ideas where I'll be like, man, I should build something, you know? Yeah, no, exactly. I'll just be like, yeah, I should try to build a rocket, like a little rocket, in my backyard, and then go fire it off in the desert or something. But because it seems like that would be fun. So this is what I was just thinking. For this thing, let's go back to here. Count all county goods. So this is going to for each through each county, and it's going to add all of the remnants together. But the thing is that we're counting the faction goods, but we don't actually need to count them because it's going through the whole list. So we don't need to do that though, because there's nothing else that's remnants. So what we could do, we got to change this to brackets and stuff. We actually could use a county good. And then, what's your fucking problem? Oh, it's a dictionary or something? No, this isn't a dictionary. Argument type is not to county good. County good. I know, like, that's another thing. Back to like your friends not giving a shit or whatever. It's kind of it would be nice to have to like hang out. I don't drink anymore, but I would drink for the occasion. Hang out, drink some beers, build a rocket. Yeah, blow off my fingers. I don't know. You know, I like to have those like kid rockets for kids that you can, whatever. I don't know. Would that even be fun though? It'd probably be fun for like 5 minutes. But yeah, no, I totally. Okay, so I'm gonna put a note in here. Since there is only one remnant type, then yeah, drones. Yeah, okay, I don't smoke pot either, man. I'm fucking boring. I was about to tell you guys something, but I'm not going to do it because I think it's illegal. So I don't want to. I don't do anything. I'm not about. I'm gonna shoot some heroin. No, none of that. None of that. Since there's only one remnant type, this can just get the county. No, let's do this. There is no need to count to go through the goods list and count remnants. I know I wasn't worried about being judged. I was worried about, I don't know, the Twitch police or something. And I like there's weird things that that I feel like people get reported for or something, even if you're like joking around. I don't even know. Lucky, how's it going? Has anyone made this battleship, but the ships constantly move in a pattern? This way the opponent has to time their explosions. I don't think so. I think Lucky, were you the person who was talking about the thing, the meme? Oh my God. I gotta go. This meme. I don't. What is that? Martin Scorsese. I'm gonna take a quick break though. I was dying for a break, like right when I started streaming. Going to take a quick break. Yeah, I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw my break time. So when I saw this, I was like, oh man, I gotta save this. And I actually thought about. So you know, there's like you can put hotkeys. I think Control S is one. No, it didn't work. Okay, it's not Control S. I know Control S is normally saved, but in OBS it has different hotkeys. But you can like make full screen things, and I was like, man, I should put that in OBS so I can like hotkey it to absolute dog shit. Because that's and that seems like more my style of calling something dog shit. Anyways, I'm gonna You should. You should copyright the thing. But I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Okay, I am back. Raring to go. I don't know. Something. I was all gung ho last week to buy a new computer, then I just didn't do it. Everything costs money. Everything costs money. And it sucks that everything costs money. All right, so this is fixed. It should have worked though, regardless. Because it should have passed in the faction good type. And if the faction good type, the good amount is added to amount. No. This isn't going to work. This is the getter setter. Good type. Or good data. Where are we at? We get this amount. Okay, no, the get gets this amount. No, that's right. It's like I forgot how getter setters worked. I mean, I basically did. I don't know. I'm gonna bitch, or I'm gonna say it's because I'm tired today. Goods values. This is another one with words. What does this thing want? Convert into a link expression. What the fuck does that mean? All right, we'll leave it like that. Some. Man, I don't know any of this link stuff. I mean, we take a good data. If it equals the faction good type, we sum the good data amounts. Okay, that seems like that. All right, yeah. This one's got all sorts of issues, so let's not look at it. That will be our cure for that. Let's run this then and see what happens with the remnants thing. I don't think that's going to fix it. I think there's something else going on with that particular part. Man, can you copyright ideas, or is that... Yeah, I guess you copyright... No, you patent ideas. I don't even know. So we got to go here. We got to go here. Actually, we don't even need to explore to test this. So this... No, we do... Oh, okay, good. Okay, so that worked with that, but this is still not working. We want to go to here. That's still 0. So what is the problem when we... Let's go to the top bar control. Faction level goods. Count all county goods by faction type. Count all used county goods by faction type. We're going to hit that one next, but this one... So once again, we're adding this onto the faction goods. So that means that's great that we counted it. But what about when we actually update labels with faction amounts? There's probably a bug in here somewhere. Faction goods. Faction data, faction goods. Faction goods, faction goods, faction goods, faction goods, faction goods, remnants. So we aren't counting these. We're pulling them from that dictionary. Faction good type equals this remnants label. Let's double check that that label's in the right spot, because we found that other one the other day that was not correct. Remnants. All right, that looks right. Let's go back to this adding up of stuff. Amount. Even if, so I think even if there was this didn't exist, it would create this. I'm pretty sure it creates this. Oh wait, this isn't gonna work. Oh no, this isn't gonna work. For county data and county's faction owns. I want a breakpoint on here. Why can't I breakpoint this? What? Is it because it's in a resource? Can I breakpoint somewhere else? I can. It must be because it's in a, oh. Oh, I guess you gotta click at the beginning of it. Okay. Let's run this. I'm curious what we'll see here. We don't need to put a bunch of GD prints in if we do it this way. Breakpoints were like, I don't know why I was avoiding them for so long. I know I say that all the time, but I just tried to use them one time and it immediately made sense. It was like, why did I do that to myself? I avoided them for years. All right, what do we got here? This is 5. This is 0. If we close this, though, is this going to change? Usually I can't click on these, so I'm curious why it's letting me. How did the code editor make a breakpoint for the code editor with having a breakpoint themselves? This isn't going to work because it's I think it's because it's a, whatchamacallit, resource. Because normally it like pauses it. It's acting like it hasn't gotten here. And it's probably doing it. Let's speed up time and see what happens. Yeah, I think it would change because this is changing. Yeah, this isn't going to work. So this zeroes it all out. This goes through and adds it. We got to go to top bar control is not going to do us any good. It seems like I've done this before. Yeah, it has like. Oh, right. You're able to put conditions in too. I forgot about that. That was someone in chat's like, why don't you put a condition in there? And I was like, what are you talking about? All right, let's look at this again. Faction goods, remnants, amount. Let's double check our remnants. I know we looked already once, but in the past, when I've looked again. What if when we make our copy, something isn't happening right? This has happened in the past. So let's look at good data. We have county good type, faction good type, we have good type, we have description, we have name, perishable. We have both amounts. I still think that we don't need both amounts. I'm going to comment this out. I feel like we don't need these. Because I think this is just wrong. Use remnants. What else we got in here? Amount, use remnant substitutable. That's in there. Failure rate. We don't even use that. Equipment data. Oh, weird. We don't copy over equipment data. What? How has this ever worked? Let's go from the top. Description, good type. We did the perishable. And then equipment data. And then failure rate. Equals. I mean, that shouldn't have anything to do with anything that we're currently working on, but it needs to copy that over. Maybe it doesn't need to copy that over, but we'll copy it anyways, just in case we change something in it later. So that doesn't look like the problem, though. So what if it's something else totally unrelated that's just hitting that as 0? both remnant, remnant, perishable, remnant, remnant. Like, what if it's when we're closing this, we're zeroing those out in this one? Well, no, they all would be getting zeroed out. That's the thing that's weird about. So this should add up to 10, and it adds up to 0 still. So we haven't even run the game yet, and that's happening. Let's go back one more time here. And when we click that button, we have some sort of signal on here, probably. I don't like this. I like this part, but I don't like this signal. How you get to the signals after this. Like, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Where's our fucking X button? The X button's actually in the county info panel. Man, is that game good? Like, I see it on Reddit, it often comes up. Like, I don't like read the post, but it's suggested to me or whatever. I don't log into Reddit. I just use it. Here's the X button. See, this is why I don't like this. This doesn't work. Oh my God, what's it doing? I've killed it. I've broke it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I clicked a button. You're not allowed to do that. It's really crashing. I thought we were just having a little break. It was taking a little break. Okay, I don't have it. I was gonna look at it while it was dying in the background. All right, just croak, man. Just get over it. Close the program. Yeah, I did. Okay, did that thing actually... So this has been a regular issue that there's like a version of the game in the background. So now I always double check. Minimize everything, because that actually causes it to crash even more later. Oh yeah, I was gonna fix my computer on my break, my test computer that I have running, and I didn't do it. All right, so let's see if we can get to this. So this is here, and it's press X button. X. That's not gonna work. It's something X something. I assume it's in here, but it could be any. Okay. This doesn't do shit. I mean, it hides the selected. It sets the This must be a getter setter or some shit. Oh my God, it is. Okay, so it does. What the fuck? So this selected left. This is set to null. So we're setting this if it's. Okay, so this changes the color. How does it know to update anything? And it does update stuff when we X out of that. Did I come up with some clever way to do that? And now I can't remember what the fuck it does. So this thing... Okay, it's probably on visibility change. Wherever that is. That's probably what it is. Jesus Christ. No, we're in globals? Wait, this thing's in globals? Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. That is in globals. So what about this? County info control. So that hides this. This is probably on visibility change. How the fuck is it doing this? I don't see... Okay, here it is. And so then it runs this update top bar goods, which we're back to here. And then if this is null, the faction level goods are ran, which we've looked at this before. So we're back to here, and then it says count all county factions good by good type. This is where it's going to go through each county. It zeroes them all out. and it adds these to here. I'm wondering once again if this is not getting initialized, and for some reason the breakpoint didn't work how I thought it would. So what we'll do is we'll do GD print rich. We'll throw a rainbow thing in here because then it will stick out. And we'll do this amount. Faction remnants. That's not what I wanted. Squigs, then faction remnants. Oh, I forgot the $sign. And we'll do, whoops, Jesus Christ. Copy, paste, motherfucker. It's not that big of a deal. Oh my God, the world's ending. We'll put this though here. So this, whoops, and here, this number, county should go up, or it should be in this number should go up, and this should be like a set number. I just want to see if this is all like zeros or what the fuck. You know, so actually I have a question that I've been thinking about. That's it's related to this somewhat, but I noticed younger people. I don't know if I brought this up before, and I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm asking like everyone. Notice younger people put a space at the end of everything they type, and I find it's so it doesn't really matter that much. And I've wondered why they do it though. Like so. Let's do like a new Word file here. So if they're typing, you know, what I said is pretty obvious. So what I said is pretty obvious. Tab space. They'll always do that. It doesn't matter. Like I'm not talking about like with punctuation, like one, and then they keep typing. I'm talking about every single thing they put a space behind. If it was a period, it would make sense. But even without a period, they put a space behind it. And then I'm trying to figure out why they do that, because it's an increasingly regular problem where they have usernames with a space behind them or a password with a space at the end. So they can't see it. And so they're like, my username doesn't work. And it's like, what? And then we look at the username, we copy and paste the username, it doesn't work. And then if I put a space at the end, it works. Because I've noticed, this is like I said, it's a new thing that I noticed. I've noticed it like a year ago, but it wasn't such a regular, it's usually like people who are younger than 30. And I was wondering, part of it, actually, I'm going to bring this back up. I don't know if it will do it in Word. So this is obvious. So it doesn't spell check, right, until you put a space at the end. So I was wondering if that's part of it. And I was wondering if you get suggestions on your phone, like you hit a space to get the suggestion for the next word. So if you were typing quickly, if you're typing quickly on your phone, you're using the suggestions. So I was totally wondering if that's part of it. Everyone keep an eye out for me and tell me what they think. I'm not like angry about it or anything. I'm just curious. Then I brought it up to one of the people that did it, and they were kind of offended by it, that I was saying something about it. But yeah, I was wondering if it's something they teach at school now. Like just throw a space at the end. It'll spell check it for you. What about if you put it in a browser? If you like say, when is the next version, actually spell that wrong, of Godot space. I mean, it doesn't really do anything. If you're in Google, when is the next, yeah, but see, it's well, maybe they don't use that. Next version of Godot. Yeah, it's already spell checking it as you go. I know that's I looked up earlier and it's actually right here. We got some anime stuff this looks what's going on here? This is um they might have wanted to pick different pictures. I don't know what this is. But my my twisted mind. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're checking this. And then what does this say? So we're getting the right number, but it's not like adding it to the number. Do we have a negative in here? No. Or a negative here, I mean. Plus equals amount. It's got to be that this amount isn't initialized or something. Do we have that weird absolute faction good thing like we do? No. And this is the only place this is getting initial. Well, in this particular way. What happens if we go? No. What if we do faction goods dot add? Nothing. What if we copy this? Not Control F. If we go, I press Control F again. Faction data add. Where is this at? Duplicate. Faction generation. Create faction good. Oh, we're onto something here. Okay, so but if that wasn't initialized, I thought it would create it. I'm sorry, if it wasn't in there, I thought it would add the thing in there. Oh wait, no, this isn't on. We're not onto something. If this is a wait, what does this thing do? For each good data in all goods, let's double check our all goods. Maybe there's something fucked up in there. This is gonna take so I'm not pushing the main. See? Okay, so we got rid of this. I was just double checking that we got rid of. How's this thing reading from disk? I'm just making sure it's not like making sure it's like doing a county good thing in here. And it's not, it's just straight up getting the resources from disk. So it's not setting them as anything. Okay. So that looks fine. Where the fuck were we? So then county good type. So it's going to go through, and if it's a county good type, it's going to go to the next part of the loop. So once again, we'll double check our fucking thing, even though I've looked at it 3 fucking times at this point. So this is county good type is remnants. Its good type, though, is both. If the good type equals a county good. All right, so that is correct. So it's both. So it's going to not skip. And then it's going to get added in here by faction good type. And it's duplicating the good type. So that all looks right. Then we have this test. What if we put... if we just add some ridiculous amount, it does get affected. Wait. Let's put some ridiculous amount here just for the fuck of it. Remnants equals 1500. It can't be 1500. It will max it out at 500 or whatever. But then let's also, the thought I had for a second was, where was that thing where we were counting stuff? Count all goods. See, so this zeroes it, but it's supposed to zero it. This is in the wrong order again. Zero these out. So it's amount, remnants, building materials. So these amounts are all set to 0 before this thing counts them all. There's something dumb that I'm doing, and I bet you it is related to when we went and set that. So count all goods by faction good type. So it zeroes them all. It goes to the counties. It sets it. I'm looking again. I'm like looking for some typo. And it said 5. And it should be plus equals. All right, so let's pretend that that worked, right? Then we go to this count all, because maybe it's like something below this that's immediately setting it. So what is this thing doing? This is the same thing. It's counting them all, whatever. Food is at the top again. Did I start with food? Is that what happened? Can you just do all? Oh, you can. Food goes there. Remnants. This is the same. We don't actually need to go through this, but I guess we could put it like this. Be one less thing it has to think about, right? Except we want this to be count used. So this is used. Used goods. We'll put the same note here. I shouldn't have did a test run of my game before I started streaming. We're pulling the amounts. Faction good, faction good. Okay, so then after it does that, you know, we could put I think we can put a breakpoint. We can. I bet you this breakpoint would work if we put it right here. But let's look at update faction. Remnants label, faction goods, remnants amount to string, faction data, faction goods. Building material, equipment, raw materials. I don't know if this was working before. Update labels with faction used amounts. Amount of used goods. Once again, this is up here. Amount used faction goods, remnants, amount. I was hoping that there would be a typo in here where this was like the wrong label or something, or the wrong list. Okay, so this is so far, according to me, And this is happening when we have when this faction level good. So we've gone through and we've checked all of these and they all look right to me. They could still be wrong. So what happens after this? So we do the faction level, nothing. Nothing happens after that. Maybe there's some weird... It's on ready. So wait, on ready, it's supposed to count those. So does it work on ready? I think it does. I think it puts a number in there. Otherwise, there would be no number. It's not 0. It is 0. Okay, so even when... So there's got to be something wrong with this list. That's in faction generation. There's got to be something wrong with this list. Because we also we applied it to... Good type. County good. It's both. It's equals both. We'll look again. Remnants. Good type. Both. Remnants, remnants. Not county good type, just good type. All county, all goods. Maybe there's something else. I know that we already looked at this. Maybe this isn't getting... Let's go look at this thing one more time. Count goods. What does this do? This just counts perishableness, so that is not a problem. What if, wait, what if... Where does it, let's see. Under faction data, what if there's already like a thing in there? Factions. So shouldn't... I guess that's how they look. They just look like nothing. I thought I thought it actually said like null in here though, but there would be a... Well, it's probably because I put those things back. Fucking Godot collections. Always acting strange. Yeah, I thought they would look like that. I wonder if we do that, what happens? Does that fix our problem? I feel like we should get a bunch of errors because it's never initialized. It's not initialized in the inspector. It's not initialized anywhere. We don't get a bunch of errors. It's still 0. Yeah, that seems to have no effect on anything, which is also strange. I wonder if I'm initializing it somewhere else. I did the, you know... Let's do this. Let's, we probably use this all over the place, but what we want to see... Faction data... Isn't that what we were just looking at? Oh, what did I just change? I thought I just changed this. I guess I put it back. what we want. What we can do here. No, that won't work. I was trying to think there was a way we could run this because there's something bizarro going on here with this particular good. See, the other ones all add up. It's this one, and it's got to be because it's both. Like that's the thing that's throwing this off. Let's go back to faction generation. For each of these and all goods, we read. This is not exported. I wonder how we're going to save that. We're going to deal with the saving. We're going to have to do this every time it runs when you load the game. So we get these resources, a list of resources. We read that. We get the file name. If the directory ends with either of those, we add this thing. So I have this weird suspicion that this isn't correct. What we're seeing here is not what we're seeing here. That's my suspicion. This has happened in the past where something in here was not usually like if you restart Godot, it solves the problem. There's no equipment data, there's no failure rate, they're not remnants substitutable, there's amounts are zero, the max amount is whatever. Get the fuck out of here. These are goods. They're both. This is still at 0. And it should be 1500 or as high as it can possibly be. And we can look in here. Oh, it didn't apply that thing. That thing where we cheated and my music stopped. And it was bad music anyways, so. 1500. Whoops. 1500. So wait, if we're in faction generation, if it's getting reset after this, so what the fuck is setting it to 0? Well, we set it to 0, I guess, when we count all the things. There's got to be like a plus equals is actually equals or something. All right, let's do this. Here we go. We can do a test. Where's that thing, the top bar thing? Update top bar goods. Update money. Let's just check these and make sure that there's nothing stupid in here. That looks right. Where's the thing we just did with faction level goods? Count all. What if we go, we comment that out and we just say equals 5,000. Like this is, I don't think it's going to do anything, but it'll be a test to know that what, because right here, when you run the game, shouldn't it give you a bug though? Like, why do some things give you errors and other things don't? All right, so this is 0. Why the fuck is that 0? Let's look at the getter setter for good data. Max value. Or value minimum. So we set it. The amount equals. So in that particular case, we would have set it with 5,000, and it should have taken. Look at this. It's like I had a problem with this before. Oh, this is in some. I don't know how this little thing works. What do I do with this? Do I put this? What? How do I make this not? It thinks it's like outside the change signature. No. How do I do this? How does this one look? Oh, this one has a thing though. I know how to do this. Good amounts equals, we need, yeah, good name is there. Okay, let's see what happens here. This is when it's like something setting it to 0. Not build. Man, I'm just, everything I do is dog shit today. Absolute dog shit. I watch a dude named Splattercat. I watch his videos, and I notice he says dog water, probably to avoid the YouTube cussing issues. Okay, we got an error. Oh, it's just the overflow. We can do this because we don't have enough stuff. If we can do if we can't do that. If we could do this. If good name is equal to this, then do this. I should have done like a warm-up, some warm-up on this yesterday or something, day before. Should have done something so I shouldn't have just not noticed this problem until later. Yeah, it's just always set to 0. It's acting kind of like, to me, like it's not getting initialized. This is in the goods folder. There are 2 max amounts. I wonder why I have 2 max amounts. Man, I gotta go to the bathroom all of a sudden. I hate that. Let's see here. Let's look at max amounts. Maybe no, because the other ones would also be getting the max amount issue, and that's been like that forever. Trying to think if there's a way we could do a breakpoint. We could do. We could do. It's because last week and everything worked so well. We could go into here. There's a process in here. I think I already scrolled. No, there it is. If player globals instance player faction data faction goods is not equal to null, then GD print remnants space not dot. I just want to see if it's ever not like if for split second is it that way? Because maybe the max good thing is fucked up. Because if it's set to 0, but why isn't it happening in the other ones? Faction. And how long has it been going on? And we just didn't notice. And but it works. It's just that if it's a faction good. All enums dot. How is this sorted? I think it's by good faction good type remnants. We need to put a mount on the end here. Or maybe we are setting it to a lowercase a. Something's getting, the amount's getting set to a lowercase a somewhere just for remnants. But that would be a hard typo to notice. Man, I gotta go to the bathroom. Let's pause the game. That's not gonna actually help us. Let's pause the game here. I want to see the output. And we load. So that was at 0 back then. Yeah, it's just always 0. I was thinking maybe that 1500 would get set. But it does. Oh, goods, amount goods is set to 5. So wait, it is getting assigned for a second. All right, I gotta go to the bathroom. I will be back in less than 5 minutes, maybe. Hopefully. All right, I'll be right back. All right. I am back. And Joker, how's it going? So it did get some remnants at some point for a brief period of time. Very brief. Where did that go? 5. What about the 5,000? Nope. Um, so that's right at the beginning. And then after that, it never gets. I wonder if it has something to do with this. We've been using this forever, though. This seems kind of complicated for what we need. Um, that seems way overly complicated for what we need. You know, I just had an idea. It could be like there's the storage thing is setting it weird to 0. That's actually, we haven't looked at storage in forever. We're going to turn this off here. But the storage, it is storing stuff. Whoops, it was running. I didn't think it was running. It is storing stuff in the county level. So storage shouldn't fuck with the faction level except on this max amount thing. So it says it's set to 5, but it's not. So this one is the county level. Good max amount is all. So that must have been the other. Yeah, that's the county level. For faction, what if we turn off this max amount thing? Actually, where is this max amount thing? Oh, I guess it's these ones. Except faction. I wonder if like something in the inspector, but it would only be for. This is like the weirdest little thing. If it's a faction good, not. Well, if it's. This isn't good data, okay. Oh, we have a return in there. Which is right, because this is just a one-time thing. I don't remember why we needed to set this max value thing. I know we do it for... I guess it's for the... Okay, what if the good type equals good type faction good, or good type equals both? Because we do need it to set... But no, it shouldn't be that. It should be set to 555 or whatever. Wonder when this started happening. We probably didn't notice because it was because it works here. But it's just on the faction level that it's not getting... It shouldn't be max though. So I wonder where we're setting... This is probably what's happening. Is something to do with maybe the storage. Is there any zeros in here? See, it's setting at the county good. Oh, this is not faction good. So it's still, so at the county level, it's hitting that there, which actually is what we want. But at the faction level, the max good, where's the... Those are all not faction. Why aren't we seeing this? Because we're not setting that anywhere yet. There's another way we can do all this counting too, is whenever we adjust something, we can just add and subtract it instead of counting all the time. But maybe it's, I think we decided on counting all the time because it will be more accurate long term. I don't know. Okay, so this max value, what if we go... So this is not a faction good because it's a both. It's both. And what is this amount getting set? Max amount... This is getting set. This is setting it to that whatever 2 million number. Yeah, that number, whatever 200 million number. 200 million. So that's getting set to the 200 million number. When I'm so confused by this one. This one's like throwing me for... remember I said this, let's do this easy one first because it will tell us some other issues, but I think it's something, we got other problems. Okay, so let's think about this. With the storage, what if we go... This is going to mess things up, I think, but let's say good type is equal to both. I'm curious if this will solve the issue, and then we just gotta go, like, because we'll have enough. Because when we set the amount, it makes it only as high as the max value. Man, this is what we get. I get for saying we're gonna push to main today. That's the name of this goddamn thing. It's at 5,000. So that's the issue, is its max value isn't getting set right. And then we go to here because we manually forced it to 5,000. Though it should be recounting at this point. It should have counted these. Unless I put that faction remnants thing. Oh, I did. I put it in the counting thing. So let's see if this works. This is the top bar. And then we got to figure out what this problem is because we can't actually have... Actually, I don't think it matters. Now that I think about it, I don't think this whole thing matters. Because we can't get a number higher than this because their county goods are set that high. And I don't remember why I was worried about this max value. Like, when are we going to get $200 million or whatever, or influence? Sometimes I worry about stuff that's totally not relevant. So where the fuck was this? This was under top bar. We just set this number to 5,000 just to see what would happen. So let's do this. And I'll put a note in somewhere. We got to figure out why it's at 0, actually. All right, so it's at 10, which it wasn't working before. And now it's at 10. Okay, so the problem is somewhere its max value is set to 0. Is getting set to 0. Man, that was a long 2 hours to get to this point. So, like I said, though, I don't think it matters. Because the county level, let's double check here. Where the fuck is our remnants? Okay, so there should be... So this getting it set to 1,500 doesn't do any good because its max value is too low. But it should set all of the faction goods to a higher amount. I don't even see the remnants in here because it's both. It's both. And before it was hitting that because it's not. So this isn't going to work either. This works to show the problem, but not not a... So at the faction level, okay, so what this is doing, this actually, okay, all right. So this is setting this max value every time. It's weird that this never prints. So good data. This never prints at all? I guess we don't set the faction. Does this one say not good? No. It never gets set at all? I wonder if we run it, what happens? Faction. Oh, we have the letter 5, the number 5 in there. Jesus Christ. Let's see this again. Oh my God. I shouldn't have streamed today. I should have just taken a nap. Done some heroin. So don't joke about that. It's not funny. Let's see here. Faction good amount, remnants. Now my question though is storage all fucked up because of that? See, it is. Oh, look, this is all fucked up too. Oh, because this used up all of the storage because of that thing we just did. All right, let's put this back to here. I want to see something else. We're on the right path here. Somehow. Maybe. So probably somewhere in storage settings it looks for county goods. Yeah, good amounts has been set to 0. Wait, good amount. Didn't I call it max? Not faction and faction good. I don't give a shit about that. It's getting set to 55 there. Where's my good amounts? What if we put in faction? A lot of not factions. Lots of not factions. Oh my god. It's because it has to do it a bunch of times. Faction good amounts. Research is set to that number. Equipment. Okay, so that all works. The problem, once again, is that this is a both situation where it's both of those things. So we need to figure out, man, storage is the worst. Setting up storage is the worst. I didn't think it'd be such a pain, and I wondered why, like, certain games I played did it certain ways, and now I know it's because it's a huge pain in the ass. So let's see here. So this good amount, it's a copy of it. And it should be. Okay, wait. If we go back to, no, it was fucking up the thing. Maybe we're not making a copy of the faction good for remnants. There's so many places where this could go wrong. Now we are duplicate. Even duplicate doesn't fucking work. So that's a problem. We probably didn't care that it didn't work. But we have new copy in here, I think. Because it probably didn't matter before. No, it should matter. Duplicate may have worked partially, I guess. Then we put in good data. What's your problem? So if let's see what this does. Because we need an actual copy of it. Because it's a different... They're going to have different numbers. And it probably didn't matter on the other ones that much. No, it should matter. Okay, those numbers are higher because of there's less perishable stuff. The max amount for wood and all of these are at 0. I assume that's like before. Is this getting set? Where would this be getting set? See, before we weren't getting all these zeros. Research equipment, not faction good is set to 0 there. Because we don't have the both ends. So that would have set the faction good to this. Man, yeah, I shouldn't have streamed today. I mean, I would have just kicked it down the road until tomorrow, but let's make these real copies. Let's... I wonder if that was actually causing other issues too, because those were duplicates, and duplicate doesn't work. And it probably like was working for a while, and then it stopped working because we added more stuff in there. We added like equipment data in there or something. So it has it can't, whatever. It can't do things like you would expect. So how do we fix this issue? Let's see, storage. So how are we doing storage? Is that a public class? It's probably some UI thing, because it's only, well, no, the whatchamafuck uses it too. It's been a long time since I looked at storage, because storage is a nightmare. Storage HBox. We have an UI thing. The computer has to use it too, so I'm surprised there's only the HBox. Goods, research items. I wonder if we're using it. Well, we'll see. I'm wondering if we have it like in the banker or something. Updates. Maybe we're not assigning storage to the... This is a public void. Goods panel. I wonder if we're having the AI not use storage at all. So how the fuck does this thing work? Generate storage HBoxes. Okay, so if it's a faction good, we skip this. See, that's right. Because we want the one that set as both to get this. But its max value has never been changed at this point. So its max value is still at 0. And if its max value is at 0, then that's going to cause other problems here. On resource panel, container visibility changed. Resources good on goods. Oh yeah, we've had that in the past too, where things change because we've looked at them. That was actually one of my favorite bugs, is that things were happening because we looked at things. Assign goods. So I have a feeling that just updates the labels. There's a thing, actually, I think it's in county generation, that goes through and sets their max storage. So basically, the AI will not be able to adjust. No, I guess if they build stuff. Yeah, I think we put this. Okay, so here's the hall master does it. Update goods. Copy and assign goods. Update scavengeable resources. What does this do? Does it change? Okay, this we're duplicating it again. Let's do a new we might be making a clusterfuck out of this here. But let's do a new copy of good data. What's your fucking problem? Oh yeah, this is a capital G. We'll copy this. And we'll get rid of this. And one of those. And this. All right, we're just going to make a copy of that shit. Make sure we got the right things. Because duplicate is not reliable. So this is going to go copy and assign goods. So this is copying at the beginning of the game. It creates all these. And this is one of the things. I don't see one for, this is county level. Do we have one of these for the faction level? Because we need to do that for the faction level too. We must though. Create faction node, create the goods dictionary. And this is the one we just fucked with. Okay, so this is create faction goods dictionary. So here's another thing. If it's like, okay, no, this is the one we already looked at earlier. All right, so this one is good, and this is where we were slamming in that 1500 just to see what would happen. And I actually think that's not very useful anymore. In fact, let's just get the fuck out of here. Because 1500 isn't it's going to throw off our other things. So we did that. Go back to county generation. We have a new copy here, not duplicate. We might have caused issues. I guess we should check. See if we suddenly get all these errors. We're not copying the max amounts, which is right. Because we don't actually save the max amount. Okay, faction remnants is still showing as 0, and it shouldn't. So we need to figure out where this storage is getting set. I have a feeling... Copy and assign goods. We didn't get any errors, right? No bugs. No. No bugs. Copy and assign goods. Those are being assigned. There's somewhere that it's like saying like set county goods, and that the other one does set faction goods, and it's just not working because we need it to set. But it's got to be a different number, honestly. So the county, that's why we need to copy these, not have a duplicate of them, is because the number for the faction should be infinite. The number for the county should be this set storage amount. And I think what's happening is it's setting the county to 0, and it doesn't. No, it's setting the faction to 0. And we need it to set the county, so it's setting the, oh my God, this goddamn duplicate thing. I think it's setting the faction to 0, which causes the county version of it to get fucked up. I think that's what's happening. Count max storage. What do you do? For each county improvement. Okay, that doesn't matter. Assign max to goods. So what is this going through? It's going through the county data goods. If it's perishable, if it's non-perishable. That is non-perishable. So it's getting, we have like some number. Yeah, so we divide that. That's fine. But that's all this does, huh? Except the max good. So the max good for even the faction level at this point should be set at 555 or whatever. We must have another place where we're setting this. Yeah, faction remnants is 0. I mean, I guess we could look for 0. Yeah, it's set to 0. Oh, wait. That's not the good amount where it says faction. It already has 0 remnants. Wonder why it's saying that. What is this good amount part? It's throwing me off. Good amount has been set to. And its max value is a giant pain in the ass. I actually was thinking about this a little bit all week. I was like, man, I'm going to do this stuff when I push to main. And I was like, maybe I should just push to main before the stream. And I was like, it's always so fun to push to main. What? And so I was all excited about pushing to main. And then here we are 3 hours later, 2 hours and 34 minutes later, not pushing to main, but instead nothing. Okay. All right, so then something here is setting its max value to 0. It's that thing. It's this thing, I think, on faction generation. Were they getting? Yeah, because this 0 is fine. It's this 0 that we worry about. Okay, so it's something on faction generation. This. Dayari, how's it going? What's the lore master? I don't think I have a lore master yet. I have a hall master. I'm talking about this guy. He hauls stuff. So that script moves around like goods and things. So like there's a banker. It's actually the banker and the hall master kind of. It's very similar, and I should move some stuff out of the banker and into the hall master. So the banker is supposed to count stuff, like counting money and things, and then the hall master is supposed to actually move stuff. And I think though the hall master should probably count goods like resources and things, while the banker concentrates on other things. But it's kind of like a lot of code to move around. You know what I mean? Like it's let's see here. And it probably is what I should be doing. I don't know, actually. I keep flip-flopping. I go, oh yeah, the banker should just deal with counting things. I should probably call it the accountant, actually, not the banker. Because accountants, they count money, but they also, I don't know. Do they count other things? The counter. Okay, so where is this thing? Where it went with its max good thing? Was that here? The max amount? No, it's under the county or the good data here. JRPG type that you kind of lost with your life. We were talking about that kind of being just lost with working on stuff earlier. I'm for some reason I woke up early and um, it it made me like not want to work that much on my stuff because I was tired, but also like I gotta change my music that you guys can't hear. It's bad and it's loud, bad loud music. Um, I don't think the Discord thing will work over there. It used to work, then it stopped. Here, I'll put it right here, and it should go. Oh wait, no, it's not going to go over to you though. All right, let me. I gotta need to fix that one day. Here, let's copy and paste it over there. But yes, I know exactly what you mean. Like, do you want to work on stuff? Do you want to do nothing? Do you want to just lay there? Sometimes I just want to lay there, kind of a lot. Sleeping is like the best. I've been having like good dreams lately, so waking up is always a disappointment. It's like you wake up and you're just like, "Fuck, man." So, yeah. Um, I know what you mean. Um, so this is our amount thing. I wonder if we go and we add this or back in here. You just graduated high school or college? Kind of want a job because my freelance kind of yeah, freelance is hard. Freelance is incredibly hard. All right, let's try this again here. If they're different, it shouldn't matter, but I have a feeling that they're not different. Even though we just made a copy of that shit. And we'll probably want to take the 0 out of here. College is computer science. That's pretty impressive, though. You probably, if you can, taking a year off. So I gotta I turned out my music. Now it's too loud. I can't even hear myself think here. I graduated high school like a half a year early, and then I like had a weekend off, and then went to college, and then immediately I didn't get a degree or anything. I just went to like a 2-year college. I just want to check this thing. Well, that definitely does. Look, it's totally busted. God. Oh, totally busted. Goddamn, we mess with storage, and this is what we get. Mess with storage, and this is what we get. It's because of that one thing. Never mess with the storage code, ever. So, anyways, I took. So basically, I had no breaks in between school and work and all that stuff, and I often think about that, and I go, because I got burned out on college really quick, and then working just fucking sucks, you know. It's always gonna suck. But I feel like if you have the ability, definitely take like a year off and then come back. I don't know if you have that ability, you know. Money is obviously a thing. Getting jobs sucks too. But yeah, so what type of computer science did you specialize in, or none at all? Oh, this is broken. Something else broke this, huh? Oh, we can't close it. What happened? Is storage positive? Let's see. So this max amount was the thing. Oh, I know why it won't let us out of there, but it shouldn't air out. It should just not let us in here. This shouldn't be at 500. What did we just change that did that? Yeah, no, that's I understand that too. You don't want to like, especially if you're making okay money, but you're saying that it's not worth the freelance thing. What type of freelance stuff do you do? You don't have to tell me anything, by the way. Don't feel obligated. All right, what did we just fuck with? So we went in to our horrific storage thing. We got kind of a lot of stuff open here. Faction generation. We didn't really mess with this. We just kind of looked at it. Oh, you know, we did a new copy. Instead of duplicating, we did a new copy. Mobile and websites. I was just talking to somebody, and they were saying that because they were like, not freelance, but they had like a website creation company, and they were extremely stressed because they think AI is the end of their business, because you could just whip up a website with a crappy AI website, and that's what people will do. What is your opinion on that? So maybe this copy isn't working right. Because this was something we'd changed. We changed it in county generation. I wonder if it has something to do with the equipment data we added. We actually don't need that right now, so I'm going to comment that out. I feel like this should not be necessary. Yeah, everything's a fucking app today these days. One of my friends also was trying to update his port forwarding, and it wouldn't let him do it unless he had an app installed on his phone. Port forwarding on like his modem. So what is this saying, that it's null? Why would you become null? System object not set to an instance. Is storage which one? Which thing? The county data isn't? Yeah, so I use ChatGPT and stuff, and I don't think it's very good, honestly. Like, it's okay for like a noob like me to ask it questions and shit, but I don't think it's like, we were talking about this on my Discord actually a while ago, where I used it for stuff and it like forgets, and then it gets confused, and it doesn't actually know what the fuck it's talking about sometime at all, and it just makes up some shit. And so sometimes, like, you can get it all, like you can, like, if you fired a real developer and got a junior developer that worked with ChatGPT, they would give this shitty code to a real developer, you know, a different real developer, that not the one they fired, and that person would have to go back and rewrite it all. And so it's like, what's the point? You know, and then like you're gonna need another junior, so you have two junior developers, one guy. Yeah. The hallucinating. Yeah, it's sometimes it will like give me code, and then I'll say it doesn't work, and then it will be like, well, you wrote it wrong, and I'm like, I didn't fucking write this code. You wrote the code. Just like, what? Okay, so something is happening now with this county data. I think we broke something, and I think it's here. When we change this to duplicate, I think the new copy But it actually is saying that the county good is... Did we change anything else? Good panel container is storage. Positive. $205. Oh, wait. This might be an unrelated thing because I renamed some shit. Oh, I bet you this is unrelated because I renamed some shit. Where did I rename some stuff? That's probably what that is. Yeah, one of my other friends was saying that he just started working on with AI to make AI apps. And I was surprised because he was so against AI a while ago. So it should have been in here. I don't see anything. What else did we mess with? County Improvements panel. That's the good panel. I don't think we have any more scripts buried in here. We don't. Oh, I had it do that. I actually had it. I have definitely had it do that many a times. And it's be like, no, here's the updated code. And you're like, you haven't changed anything. But I had it one time. I asked it like suggestions for something, and it said, "Oh, you should check out these websites." And all of the websites except for, it was like, and it gave me like 3 of them or 5 of them or something, and all of them were down except for one. And I kept telling it, and it would just kept saying, "No, these websites are good." And I was like, "No, they're not, man. I just told you." It's yeah. I wonder. So maybe I didn't rename anything important. We've ran it a bunch of times, so this should have updated. I'm just spinning my wheels today. There's probably just some simple thing that I just could have yeah, no, there shouldn't be anything here. Could have fixed, and I already like... What's going on here? But it has. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the duplication issue that we always have. Yeah, there's nothing there. Yeah, it's... So this is another thing I flip-flop on. I was very worried about AI taking all of our jobs, and it fluctuates where I think, yes, it's going to take some jobs, more jobs, and other times I'm like, it's not taking anybody's job. I not for a long time at least. And I think it is another one of those things like blockchain, where everyone's like, you gotta have blockchain, and it's like, really, for what? And yeah, mostly follows templates when it comes to full vibe coding. I don't know what vibe coding is. It's been mentioned before in something. Telling you, this looks really suspicious. Vibe coding, where developers heavily rely on AI tools, particularly large language models, to generate and refine code based on natural language, especially focusing on the desired vibe. Oh. Yeah, I guess I've done some vibe coding. I don't know. Because I do use it all the time, but I take its suggestions with a grain of salt. And you know what I do think it's good at? Good is describing. I'll often say, like, I'll copy this, like something like this, and then say, what does this do? And then it will tell me, and I think it's good at that, as long as it's right. And, so I've been training like a new assistant in my work, and I'm an IT manager. mention that every single goddamn stream for some reason. But anyways, we were trying to get this thing to work, and I said, let's ask ChatGPT and see what it says. And she's like, oh, I use it all the time. It's so smart, or something like that. And then we pasted it in the thing, and I immediately, like, the first sentence of its reply was incredibly wrong. I said, oh, it's wrong. Let's continue on with our way. And she was like, how do you know it? It seems like it knows what it's saying. And I was like, no, it's just being confident. It doesn't have a fucking clue what it's talking about. Because it was like, something as simple as, like, whatever, there's no electricity. You need electricity or something. Whatever. We were asking about it, how to install, like, some command line stuff, but whatever. Yeah. And then what if she had believed it? She would have been sitting there dicking around with the thing the whole time. Yeah, I'm just spinning my wheels here today. I'm not even accomplishing anything. Did we accomplish anything today? No. All we did is we found that bug, and now we've made it worse. This time, now I have to, like, backtrack. I wonder if I, like, left a semicolon off or something when I was fucking with this. It's got to be the new copy. I don't really want to go back to duplicate, though. What are we duplicating here? Good. We need this. We need this. We need good data. Duplicate. It's because this duplicate thing just doesn't fucking work, man. It just doesn't work. I usually challenge me or use a prompt that can make it really before. There was somebody else, Joker, he comes to chat sometimes. He was suggesting ways to, like, trick it to be smarter sometimes. The biggest issue I have is it forgets what it's talking about, like, halfway through. I used it a bunch for pathfinding help, and then more recently, this is what really threw me. Oh, it wasn't that. I was sure it was that. Then some. So a long time ago, for some pathfinding, have it help me write pathfinding on a hex grid, and then more recently have it just from I just did it. I guess I was vibe coding straight from scratch, doing a multiplayer, just connecting. Like, that's basically just the most basic connection in Godot, and Sorry, I was in the back of my mind. I was like, did I accomplish? I could roll back all the code I wrote today, and I think we would be fine. Honestly, I don't think I accomplished. No, I didn't do shit all day. We're not pushing the main today. Anyways, and in the middle of it, so with the multiplayer thing, the first day I worked on it, everything worked perfectly. So awesome. I couldn't believe how good ChatGPT was doing it. My opinion of ChatGPT went way up. I was like, holy fuck, I cannot believe every single thing we've worked on has worked perfectly. I went on a vacation. I came back and I hit play and did something different. And it exploded the whole project. Basically, for multiplayer, right? There's a server and a client. And it was having the client check the server data and the server check the server data, right? Not the client asked the server for the data. So they were both. And then the minute I asked for them to, like, do it the right way, the whole thing fucking blew up, right? And so then I went back and said, like, look, this doesn't work. It's supposed to connect through the fucking server. Right. So all I was saving was passwords and username. Here, it's incredibly simple here. if we'll ever start. I don't actually remember what state this is in. I think it might be bugged out, but oh, I didn't think it was. I thought we could run it, but um, anyways, so I started putting in all these things like this, like checks, to make sure that it wasn't running on the client. And as I put these checks in to make sure it's going through the server, it would go back and it would update the old code. But then I would ask it another question and it would put in new code that was the old code that never worked in the first place. And it became so bad that it was actually a detriment to work with. Yeah, no, it's exactly like that, Lucky. It's just like the whole thing was fucking crazy. And so and this is the one thing that I say is a good thing about ChatGPT, and this happened with my pathfinding thing too, is when you get to that point, you actually have to learn how to do the coding yourself. So ChatGPT will help you get to the basics of it, and then it will just fuck it all up, and then you have to learn what it is. Like, what is RPC? You know, like, and how does this shit work? Because you got to learn it, and then you debug it. And then once you get it all debugged, because I actually fixed it all. I don't know what state this is in. I obviously something's broken. Oh, it looks like I was like mid typing something, and I was like, I'm done for today. Then I, would copy and paste the code, and sometimes I'd say like, how do you do this better, or what are the options? But at that point, when stuff gets, so when conversation when ChatGPT get above like the most basic level, even copying and pasting that code in that's working perfectly and saying, how do I make this better? Sometimes it just implodes again and it just starts spitting out like dumb ideas, things that aren't even like C#. It'll be like, oh, do this. And I'm like, that's not C#, man. Like, what do you? Yeah, I don't know. I could go on and on about that. I don't think I'm going to push this code, actually. I think I'm going to revert this code. We did nothing today. I had one of these totally useless days. We haven't had one of these in a long time. And last weekend we were so fucking productive that this is what we deserve. You know what I mean? It was too productive last weekend. I was sitting around. We had done everything I had planned. It's because I said we were going to push the main. All right, though. I'm going to call it a day. Let's raid somebody since we're not pushing that. We don't need this up. Let's look. And I have a new thing I do where I have a list here. Well, let's say I want to implement something, but I literally not know it. Like, let's say I want to use an array sort or something like that. I should sort an array. How can I learn more things like these? So with simple stuff like that, I think ChatGPT is fine to teach you things sometime. Most of the time, I think that's its good thing is you could say like, how do I sort an array? And that simpleness, it can do that. But if you say, how do I sort 4 arrays? How do I join them all together and sort them? It's starting to, you're like right on the edge of where. And then I had a security talk. So I'm going to yammer on about this thing. I had a security talk with it about the server client stuff. And I talked to this thing for like an hour. And then at the end, I said, because we were going in circles, basically, I said, so everything you told me is worthless, right? And it was like, yes. So it's like, thanks for this. You should have just said, oh, yeah. And it's funny. I asked my friend, who's a human, the same question that I asked ChatGPT, and he immediately he can think. He immediately knew what I was trying to do because he's done stuff like that, and he immediately knew where I was going with my thought process. And yeah, exactly, a human friend. It's crazy. So he immediately was just like, no, you can't do it that way. You got to do it this way. So it's like, that's part of the thing that like Chat GPT is missing, is it doesn't know it can't pick up what you're putting down, you know? All right, we're going to find another Godot person. That tag didn't seem like that worked. It didn't work. Whoops. Godot. Let's see. And I'm starting to keep track of who I rated so that I don't raid the same people all the time. So let's see. Munglo we raid occasionally. We rated him really recently, so this is why I'm keeping the list. Code Wonderland. I don't remember that person. This is the problem, is I don't remember these people. To get it, you can ask questions in Discord if you have a legitimate, and some people help. I'm rolling over my cord again here. I try to help, but obviously I don't know that much. Let's find someone new. New Jank is this person's name. They've got 6 viewers. Let's try to find someone with less. 3D modeling, as fun. Let's see if we can find somebody with a face. I guess we're kind of limited here. I can't remember this guy. Oh, I think I rated this guy somewhat recently, actually. I'll just do this new Jank person. He's got 6, but whatever. Is there another one? This is up on my other monitor. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what's happening right there. Here, we'll put these over here. Yep. You know, there used to was it this Discord? Yeah. There used to be a guy who was like a meme guy in my Discord who just posted like tons of meme. Wonder what happened to that guy. Here, I'm gonna wave hello to this person while I'm here. All right. Code Wonderland, the one who had. Oh yeah. His game seemed pretty cool. We're gonna do new Jank. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully tomorrow. This won't be just a clusterfuck like it was today, but maybe you need one of those days sometimes, you know. Just to set you back in to like lower your pride, crush your pride. Welcome, Shin, and I will talk to you guys later. Welcome to the Discord, you know, and the chat. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good existence. Bye.